The supply of free music over the internet has ravaged the Australian record industry, cutting its value by more than a quarter since 2005. But new figures reveal the worst may be over, with digital music sales growing by more than 36% last year. The fledgling digital market has not, however, filled the financial hole left by plummeting CD sales, and that's leading some in the industry to experiment with new business models. Michael Atkin reports.
The music industry has a major problem.
I don't buy many CDs in stores.
Can you even think of the last time?
I bought a CD for someone else.
A generation of music fans have grown up without having to pay.
I've been illegally downloading it because it is more accessible, it is easier, we're on the internet all the time.
And much to the music industry's dismay, it's part of a clear trend. In 2001, sales of CDs and vinyl were worth almost $650 million. In 2005, it was $520 million. And last year, it was just $242 million. And digital sales haven't filled the financial gap, totalling $140 million in 2011. But that hasn't stopped artists feeling the urge to create.
It comes quite easy to me because I connect up my MIDI keyboard to my laptop here, and I simply just play in keyboard line to start off the song with a melody.
Elizabeth Rose is part of a new breed of recording artists turning the suburban home into a studio. The music she records here in her bedroom will be released by a record label, Inertia. But unlike traditional record deals, Elizabeth will keep all the rights to her music and get a larger slice of the sales.
I've been doing it on my own for a few good years now, but I really feel that I'm at the point where I need a network of people around me just to help me get to the next level.
The 21-year-old has been using social media sites to give her music away and increase her profile.
The internet just isn't on the fringes of what we do anymore. It's the new sales platform. And artists come to us and don't say, hey, we want to put out an album in 12 months. They come to us and they say, hey, we want to put in an EP next Monday.
Now with a new service called Inertia Access, she's going to start charging over the internet for her songs.
How are things coming along getting the remixes together?
Yeah, good.
Instead of an artist signing with a label for several years and releases, they pick what services they want and pay a fee.
Things that artists can buy into based on what their actual needs are at the time, rather than essentially having a one-size-fits-all sort of model.
Just how difficult is it trying to make a crust out of being an independent musician in Australia?
I think the more you think about it, probably the worse it gets.
A few years ago, Lucius Borich was drumming in Cog, one of the country's hottest rock bands.
People were turning up to shows and buying merchandise, and you were on the big day out in the main stages around the country. It was fantastic.
But when Cog went to record their second album, that momentum came crashing to a halt.
It was a hard time for the band. It was a really hard time for the band, you know.
With the backing of an independent label, the band recorded an album in the US. But Cog didn't have enough material ready and had to write under pressure.
You got management saying the bill's going up, and you're sitting there going, we've got to come up with great songs, and we've got to, not only impress ourselves first and foremost, but other people as well.
You talk about the bill going up. Just how high did it get?
I think it ended up being something like $200,000.
That album, Sharing Space, went gold, selling more than 35,000 copies. But despite the success, the band never saw any money. It went towards paying off the studio bill.
Okay. So So this is one of the guys we're looking at.
That scenario isn't possible on the new label Create Control.
The artist can start making money from their first sale and there's not a debt to recoup.
The soon-to-launch label is the brainchild of music industry veteran Paul Petico. Bands will be able to keep their copyright, split the sales income 50-50 and have access to marketing. But the catch is the artists have to pay to create their own content.
The way labels are structured is about 2/3 of the money goes into the creation of records and film clips and so on. That's a very cost-heavy part of the business.
Cynics in the industry might say this is about cost cutting from your perspective.
Sure, I guess it could be seen as that. I don't know if it's cynical because, I've still got to commit our label to whatever the artists are. We have to develop those careers. But it is definitely a way of lowering investment, definitely.
Right now, Elizabeth Rose isn't worried about that rapid change. She's revelling in the buzz around her. The ultimate aim is to turn the attention into a viable career.
I'm very optimistic, so I'm hoping that I'll have a good career out of it. I'm really hoping, trying with all my might.
And the music industry will be watching with interest. Michael Atkin, Lateline.